Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking a look at something pretty interesting. A real-world example, really.
Yeah. What do we got?
It's how SC Homeschool IB Radio plans to use the Amazon Associates program, the affiliate thing,
Ah, right.
for fundraising.
Exactly. We've got their internal strategy doc so we can really dig into how they're planning to do it and, well, what it says about making money from content today.
Okay, yeah. So affiliate marketing, basically, it's like getting a commission, right?
Right.
You recommend something online, use a special link, someone buys through it, and you get a small cut.
Simple enough.
Yeah, lots of creators use it. The interesting part here is how they plan to make it work for their specific audience, the homeschoolers.
Okay, so let's get into the actual plan. It's not just sticking links everywhere, right? They've got specific ideas.
Definitely not. The first big one is what they're calling curated recommendations.
Curated recommendations. What does that look like in practice? Well, think about their content. They're planning a resource of the week, maybe on the radio show or on their blog.
Okay.
And they gave examples like featuring a microscope kit, maybe, or a certain math workbook.
But it's more than just saying, buy this, I assume.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The plan is to actually review it, or at least give a mini review. Explain why it's good for homeschoolers.
Ah, okay. So provide value first.
Exactly. Give real insights, helpful info, and then naturally include the Amazon link if people want to check it out or buy it.
That makes sense. It builds on the trust they presumably already have.
Precisely.
Yeah.
If the audience already looks to them for homeschooling advice, these recommendations feel like genuine tips, not just ads.
Less intrusive that way.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And it's not just those dedicated spots. They're also talking about weaving links into other content.
Like what?
Like their show notes. They mentioned a Book Nook segment where they review books.
Right.
So the notes online for that segment would have the affiliate link to the book on Amazon. Same for related social media posts.
So you hear the review, you're interested.
And bam, the link is right there. Easy. They're also thinking about creating reading lists, or those Amazon idea lists.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Collections of stuff.
Right, grouped by subject maybe, or age range. Just another way to gather relevant resources for homeschoolers.
That holiday gift guide idea seemed pretty smart, too. The top 10 STEM toys one.
Yeah, that's a great example. Perfect timing. People are looking for ideas anyway.
And it fits the content naturally.
Totally. And that leads into another part of the strategy, creating content, specifically built around potential recommendations.
How so?
Well, they mentioned maybe doing a whole podcast episode on, say, homeschool room setup on a budget.
Okay, I can see where this is going.
Right. You talk about affordable whiteboards, good desks, organizers, and you naturally mention specific products you like.
And link to them.
But the goal is for it to feel like genuine advice, part of the discussion, not just a list of things to buy.
Keeping it helpful. Now, they also mentioned involving the community. That sounded interesting.
Yeah, that's a clever angle, encouraging their listeners, their community, to actually suggest their favorite products.
Oh, okay. Crowdsourcing recommendations.
Exactly. And then SC Homeschool Radio compiles these suggestions into lists, like homeschool community favorites.
And adds the affiliate links, of course.
Naturally. But think about it, a recommendation from a fellow homeschooler, that carries weight.
Yeah, that's social proof. People are probably more likely to trust that and maybe click the link.
That's the idea. Plus, it gets the community involved, makes them feel part of it.
Builds engagement.
For sure. And they're also planning those seasonal guides we touched on, back to school, holiday gifts for young scientists, that kind of thing.
Promoted through email and Facebook, they said.
Yep. Newsletters, social media, hitting people when they're already thinking about buying that type of stuff.
Okay, this all sounds fairly well thought out, but what about, being upfront about it? People can sometimes be wary of affiliate links.
That's a really important point, and it seems like they're aware of it. Transparency is key.
So what are they actually planning to do about transparency?
They specifically said they'll disclose it. Put a clear note on blog posts, for example, saying something like, this post contains affiliate links, and we may earn a commission if you purchase through them.
That's good. And they also mentioned framing it as support for the station.
Yes, explaining that using these links helps fund the radio station, and importantly, at no extra cost to the buyer.
That messaging seems crucial. It changes it from, we want your money, to, if you find this useful and buy anyway, this helps us keep going.
Exactly. It's about building and maintaining that goodwill. Honesty goes a long way there.
Okay, let's talk potential payoff. They must have crunched some numbers on what this could actually bring in.
They did. And they're realistic. They know the individual commissions from Amazon aren't huge, maybe around 4% for the kind of stuff homeschoolers buy.
4% isn't much per sale.
Not individually, no. But they're looking at the bigger picture, the size of the homeschool market in their area, South Carolina.
What are those numbers?
They estimate about 42,000 homeschool households in SC. And they figure maybe $500 average spending per year per household on relevant stuff.
Okay, 42,000 times $500. That's
about $21 million. That's the estimated total market size they're looking at.
wow. Okay, so even a tiny piece of that.
Right. They did a calculation. If they could capture, say, 10% of those purchases through their links, that's $2.1 million in sales going through their links.
And at 4% commission,
That would be around $84,000 in revenue for the station.
$84,000. That's significant.
Very. Now, they did admit 10% might be ambitious, especially at first.
Sure, building that up takes time.
But they pointed out even if they only captured 2% or maybe 5%.
Let's see, 2% of $2.1 million is $42,000 in sales. Oh, wait, no. 2% of the total $21 million market is $420,000 in purchases.
Right, $420,000 in purchases. At 4%, that's still nearly $17,000.
And 5% would be over $40,000 in commission.
Exactly. So even capturing a small fraction could mean tens of thousands of dollars. It shows how those small percentages can add up with volume and a focused audience.
Especially hitting those peak buying seasons like back to school.
Precisely. And they trust they'll be tracking everything, clicks, conversions once they launch. You have to measure this stuff to see what's working.
Makes sense. So how quickly are they rolling this out? What's the timeline?
They're planning to get the Amazon Associates account set up before they even officially launch the station. Get the technical stuff done.
Smart. What's step one for content?
Creating a recommended resources page on their website. Basically, a central place listing the stuff they talk about in the first month or so.
Gives people one spot to find everything.
Yeah. And then, during launch week, they're planning a welcome blog post, something like top 5 resources to kick off your homeschool year.
Ah, and that will have links.
You got it. A sort of soft launch for the affiliate links, baked into useful content right from the start.
So not hitting people over the head with it immediately.
Seems to be the plan. Then, going forward, it's about consistently adding a few high-quality, relevant links each week tied directly to whatever they're discussing.
And someone's keeping an eye on the data.
Yes, they mentioned their community lead will be monitoring the performance, seeing what resonates, what people are clicking on and buying.
So looking at the overall picture, the goal seems to be integrating this fundraising really smoothly, almost invisibly, into their regular content.
That's the idea. Non-disruptive. They keep talking about the win-win.
Win-win how?
Well, win for the audience. They get genuinely useful recommendations for homeschool resources. And win for the station. They generate revenue to support their operations.
As long as they do it right.
That's the key, isn't it? Integrity and relevance, making sure the audience always comes first. If they nail that, it could be quite effective.
So, recapping the core strategy. Integrate links into content naturally. Create specific recommendation-focused content. Use community suggestions. Be totally upfront about it. Understand the market potential. And roll it out carefully.
That sums it up pretty well. It's about turning their content value into a sustainable funding stream by connecting listeners with resources they might actually need.
It really does make you think, doesn't it? How many other creators or organizations you follow might be using similar methods or thinking about it?
Yeah, it's definitely part of the modern online landscape.
What does that mean for how we all find and buy things online now? Definitely food for thought. Thanks for walking through this strategy with me.
Anytime. It's a fascinating case study.